Okay, starting chapter 7, 7.1 circles. Definition. A circle is a set of all the points in an xy plane that are fixed distance r, which is the radius, from a fixed point hk, which is the center of the circle. The standard form of the equation of a circle with radius r and center hk is binomial squared plus binomial squared equals r squared. And notice here's your x minus h, your y minus k. Notice the sign change going to your hk. Don't get this confused with the parabola from before. We will always use HKs for vertices of parabolas and centers of circles and ellipses and hyperbolas. So you're going to see this throughout the whole chapter. Okay, so if we graph this first example, a little saying I like to tell people is find the x, change the sign, -2. That's your x coordinate of the center. Find the y, change the sign, +1. That's the y coordinate. 16 is your r squared. Take its square root's 4. Let's go make the circle. Plot -2, 1. We're going to go 4 to the right, 4 to the left, up 4, down 4. Now, that's really not enough points to make a decent looking circle. So what you want to do is put your pencil at the end of one of those 4 points. Lay the pencil down so it lays over the top of the center. Pinch the pencil with your index finger and thumb and kind of move your pencil and give you a couple arcs or dashes in each of these sections to help you say, okay, this is a distance of 4, but it's out in those areas here. And then draw your circle. All right, over here, this is a special circle because of the radius 25. The center, no one's being added or subtracted to your x's, so your center is at the origin and your radius is 5. Plot your center. We're going 5 to the right, 5 to the left, up 5, down 5. Now, here, it's a special case. You may have noticed this. Something squared plus something squared equals something squared is the Pythagorean formula. And because your 5 is the radius, which could also be the hypotenuse of a right triangle, we have this special Pythagorean triple called the 3, 4, 5 right triangle. Well, the 5 will always be the hypotenuse, the 3 and the 4 will be the legs. So what we can do is make a 4 by 3 right triangle, plot a point, or a 3 by 4 right triangle. That distance there is 5. So now we have some perfect points out here between or out in quadrant 1 instead of trying to make little arcs or dots or dashes a distance of 4. We have exact points. And we can do this over here as well. We can go 3 by 4, 4 by 3, 4 by 3 down, 3 by 4 down, all the way around the circle. So if you notice from each of your beginning points, going 5 right, left, up, and down, from each of those points, it's 3 by 1, 3 by 1, 3 by 1. And that's how you can plot your circle really nicely. You got more points there. Oh, next example, find all, oh, wait a minute. That's this equation we just worked on. They want us to find the x and the y intercepts. Oh, wait a minute. We're in between tick marks. Okay, these are going to be ugly answers, so let's go find them. All right. So, remember, if you want an x-intercept, your y-coordinate is 0. I put 0 in for y. That will be a 1 squared, which is 1. Subtract the 1 from the 16. That's going to be 15. Hey, wait a minute. This looks familiar. This looks like how we solve things by completing the square. That's right, take the square root of both sides. Plus or minus square root of 15, subtract the 2. Sneak in front of the plus or minus. Whoa, there you go. There's my x's. But these are going to be points. So you can type it in as an ordered pair, and then you can give you the plus or minus icon, use it. If you want to write it as 2 points separated by a comma, that's your call. I'm not going to waste my time writing that. I'd write it this way. Y-intercept, now the x-coordinate 0, plugging it up here. That gives me 2 squared or a 4. Subtract over the 4 from the 16 makes it a 12. Take the square root of 12 is, well, wait a minute, plus or minus square root of 12. 12 has a factor of 4 in it. And we can take the square root of 4, which is 2, which puts that out front. and leaves the 3 on the inside. Add over the 1 in front of your plus or minus. Now we found the y coordinates of the y-intercept. 0, comma, 1 plus or minus 2 square root of 3, or again, you can put it in as 2 points. The next thing we're going to have to be able to do is write the standard equation of a circle given some of its parts. All right, so if we're going to go standard equation, here's my beginning equation. I need h and k and r squared. Wait a minute. They said center. That's your h and k. Great, we can go plug that in. Well, they didn't give me the radius. Okay, 4, 2, that's a point on the circle. So this is the ordered pair x, y. So if I plug in the 1 and the negative 2, again, notice the sign change. Positive 1 becomes minus 1. Negative 2 becomes plus 2. You can see the justification. Minus a negative is a positive. I need to find the r squared. Well, if I know what x and y are, we could plug those in, crunch the numbers for r squared, and we're done. So let's do that. Put in the 4 for the x. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 squared, 9. Put the 2 in for the y. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. 9 plus 16 is 25. That's my r squared. So bring down the equation that had just the h and the k in it, and transfer the 25 over to the r squared. And there's the equation of my circle. Another type of example building this is that they want a standard equation of a circle, and they give you the endpoints of the diameter. Now, we know that the diameter of a circle has to go through the center. It's a straight line across the circle going through the center. So therefore, the center is somewhere in the middle. In fact, it's what we call the midpoint. And to find the midpoint between any 2 points is you add the x's and divide by 2, add the y's, divide by 2. Just think of finding the average x coordinate, the average y coordinate. All right, time to crunch some numbers. We've got negative 2, negative 14. Added together is over 2. 7 plus negative 9. That's negative 16 over 2. Negative 2 over 2 becomes negative 8 comma negative 1. So that midpoint formula of these two endpoints becomes my center. So my center is now at negative 8, negative 1. And I have 2 points I could use. So I'm right back to this equation up here, or I should say this example up here. So I put in my 8 and my 1. Again, notice the sign change. Negative 8 to positive 8, negative 1 to positive 1. Put in negative 2 and 7 in for x and y. That's going to be 6 squared. This is going to be 8 squared. 36 plus 64 is 100. So take that 100, put it in for this r squared right here. There's the equation of your circle. So make sure you understand how to work that right there. You'll see something like this on the test. Another thing we have to be able to do is we have what is called general form of the equation of a circle. What they have done is they have taken this equation, FOILed it all out, and taken this value for r squared. So let's say we go down to here. They foiled this, combined the two constants, subtracted over this constant, and set it equal to 0. So what we want to do is to get this back into standard form, you complete the square. So what we want to do is group the x terms, group the y terms, and move the constant over to the 0. I've grouped them, and now I'm going to put parentheses around them, and plus blank, 1 for the x, plus blank for the y, and put 2 plus blanks over on the other side, and if you want, put an x and a y underneath the blanks, so you know, okay, this blank is for this x over here, this blank is coming for the y's, and then we can crunch the numbers. So go to the middle term. Half of positive 4 is positive 2 squared is a 4. Half of minus 6 is minus 3 squared, 9. So these will be my two binomial squares. Remember, this is a perfect square trinomial. You're factoring, that's a 4. What two numbers multiply to be 4 and add up to 4? 2 and 2. X plus 2 times x plus 2 are my binomials. or x plus 2 squared. Y squared minus 3 squared makes the binomial y minus 3 squared. Negative 9 plus 9 cancel, leaves me a 4. Time to graph. Center, find the x, change the sign, negative 2. Find the y, change the sign, positive 3, plot it. Negative 2, positive 3. 4, careful now, that's not the radius, that's r squared. You got to take the square root of 4, which is 2. This is going to be a small circle. 2 to the right, 2 to the left, up 2, down 2. Draw your best circle. All right. So next example, notice there's a difference. It's a 2x squared plus a 2y squared. What we have to do is we have to divide everything by 2, because in order to complete the square here, to put it into standard form, you have to have a 1 in front of your x and in front of your y. So no matter what coefficient is in front of your x squared and y squared, they better be the same, because you're going to divide everything by that coefficient. So that's x squared plus y squared, 12 divided by 2, 6, minus 6x. 8 divided by 2, minus 4. 24 divided by 2, minus 12. 0 divided by 2, 0. All right, group your x's, group your y's, put in your plus blanks, and complete the square. Half of minus 6 is minus 3 squared is 9. Half of minus 4 is minus 2 squared, 4. Write your equation. Get your binomial squared. X minus 3, binomial squared. Y minus 2, binomial squared. 12 plus 9 plus 4 is 25. So we're going to 3, 2 for my center. Radius of 5. 5 right, 5 left, up 5, down 5. And oh yeah, don't forget those 4 by 3s. 4 by 3, 3 by 4, or 3 by 1, 3 by 1, 3 by 1, 3 by 1. Draw them all in, draw your circle. All right, so we'll stop there. We'll call this the circle video.